Can you see my screen now? Very, very sorry. I thought it was showing. Okay, so in that case, so good afternoon once again and welcome to today's session. And today's topic is on excellent resources and templates for investment analysis. Okay, and I mentioned earlier, if you are planning to do the FMI exam, any of the 3 certification exam, you will get a 40% discount through us. You're a partner and a sponsor for this session. Okay, so if you're interested in any training related to financial modeling, business intelligence, Power BI, Python, reach out to us. Okay, so this is today's session. So since my screen is showing now, I'm going to re-demo everything. So I'm going to even cancel what I've done before. So if you click on this link, I've shared it in the chat box. Let me reshare it in case you didn't catch the link. So I'm resharing the link. Okay. So if you go to that link, you'll be able to access this particular resource. This resource helps you to manage your portfolio. It helps you to see how all the companies you've bought into are doing. It helps you to also see how much of your money is where. And then if you're someone like me who is particular you, and you can be able to edit it, that one that I did, that I share for uniformity and for privacy, you can't even edit it. So it is your own private copy, which you do by clicking on file and make a copy. Those are the ones that you will now be able to use. Nobody can access it, right? So you'll see that the one I shared, I can see people accessing it, right? That one is the general one. Now, the one that you click file, make a copy, nobody can access it. If you like, you can remove my name, you can tweak it more, add your own touch, change the colors, whatever you want to do, as long as you don't touch the formulas and you get lost. And if you get lost, no problem, come back here, click file, make a copy. So how are you expected to use it, right? So let me delete everything. You should see what I'm deleting. You should delete from here. No, sorry. Correction. The only thing you should delete is here. All the yellow ones. Those are the ones you should delete. I need to even add that in the instruction. So delete only step 1. Step 1. Delete all the entries in yellow in the column colored yellow. Enter your own specific stocks in ticker. So that's column B. Okay, so with this, I think this will be clear enough for everyone. So click file, make a copy, then delete the ones. I'm not going to do that. So you see, I've done that here. I deleted all the ones in yellow. Don't delete the ones in green. If you delete the ones in green, there's going to be problem because those ones have formulas in there. So how are you expected to now carry on? If you have any question, please ask. Okay, I see someone asking. I see Lady asking, what was the link? So I've shared the link. I'm going to ask it again. I share it again. Madam Funke is saying audio. Is my audio not? Are you not hearing me? Is it clear now? Hello? Okay. Can anybody confirm if they can hear? Oh, okay. Thank you. So now let's continue how you're supposed to use this. So let's say you have shares in Microsoft. So what do? You come here, you type MSFT. So you have to know the ticker of the company you bought, right? So if you don't know, you can always search online. Okay, but if you have bought shares in those companies, you will definitely know. So like for me, I use Drive Wealth. So I use Drive Wealth to buy my shares. In case you use Bamboo, you use Ladder, you use what are the other ones? Trove, you use Chaka. You can always log in and be checking out what is in your what's in your what's in your portfolio and be typing them here, right? So you go in here, you put in the name of the company, and then what date did you buy the share? So maybe you bought this one last year, 21 June. So you need to know which is part of the information you will get when you go into your stock account. So June last year. At what price did you buy at? Maybe you bought this at 180, right? And then you see, as soon as you fill in these yellow places, the green ones, yeah, that's color green. The green ones fill themselves, right? So that's why it's a template. So the green ones begin to fill themselves. Instantly, it's calculating how much nominal gain you've made, the return in percentage wise, and then annualized how much it is, and then okay. Okay, great. Then the PE ratio, I'm just concerned why the nominal and the annualized. The annualized is higher than the nominal. Anyway, I can go check that later. So it calculates all these ones in green, right? And then you need to enter how many shares you bought. So you bought, let's use a round figure, you bought 100 shares, and voila, instantly it shows you, okay, this is your whole portfolio. 100% of your portfolio is in Microsoft. This is the trend. This is how the stocks has been, over the last 1 year, since the beginning of this year, over the last 1 year. This is the 5 days moving average, the 20 days moving average. Then this is it on a buy signal or on a sell signal? Okay. So, and once you've done that, let's add one more company. So let's say maybe you also bought, which company has people been really raving about? So let's say you also bought into Tesla. So you bought Tesla. The moment you put the ticker, all of this will fill themselves, right? So what do you put? Okay, what day did you buy Tesla? Maybe you are very lucky. You bought Tesla at the start of last year. At that time, it was selling at a really cheap price. So maybe you bought at 400, right? And then what other information? So maybe you are not so sure. So you bought 45, okay? And then once you fill that information in, if you check it out, it instantly shows that your portfolio now is now split between Microsoft and Tesla, and you're able to see how your portfolio is doing relative to the S&P 500, the entire, well, not the entire market, but the one people like to use as a benchmark to the US stock market. So S&P 500 is a very popular benchmark. Okay, so this shows you how you've been doing relative to that. And this is how that one works, right? So let's go to the Nigerian stock. So there's a portion also for Nigerian stock. So you have Nigerian shares. How then do you also use this to keep track of your Nigerian shares and how your portfolio has been doing? Okay, the same steps, clear out. Okay. Yes. So delete the things in yellow. In yellow. Okay. In yellow. Okay. So I think I need to do something that will make all these errors not show, because they are not really errors. Okay, let me just check. Are there other things here? They are not errors. They are just because nothing is inside the formulas that I've put. I will find a way to make them not show later on. So you can check back maybe on the template, later on today if this bothers you. But like I said, they are not errors anyway. So let's say I have shares in GT Bank. Okay, so one thing I've done is I made a drop down here. So I have shares in MTN. As soon as you pick it, you will see that the current price pops up. Some other things comes up, right? So you need to put in the name. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a formula, an automated way of getting the company names. So you will have to write the name yourself, unlike the US one where you could have gotten the names out yourself. So MTN Nigeria PLC. Then maybe I bought this last year, and so I bought this at the 12th of October. 2021, I think was selling at around 134 naira then. Actually, was selling much less. Was selling almost 114. And then maybe I bought, again, let's use a round figure. You see, as soon as I put it in, it calculates for me how much let's say I bought 1,000 shares, okay? So instantly calculates how much is there. And let me even see if I can fix what's causing these issues. Okay, there's an if error. I think I didn't drag it for everybody. So not a problem. I can drag the if error. Okay. So let me just do that on the main template so that you will enjoy the already fixed one. So just to put here, if error, what did I say it should do? So the advantage is if you are good with Excel, I left the formulas there. So, you know, I don't do something that would over stretch my back end, but I left the formulas there anyway. And we are the ones who built. You can see Nigerian Airlines is one of my apps. So let me just wrap an if error there. If error, blah blah blah. Okay, so you see it's all gone. The only thing now is let me put back the alternating color. Alternating colors. I think I used a green color, right? Was it this type of green? Okay, this was the type I used. Then the ones you need to fill in yellow. So the ones you need to fill in, let's make it easy to spot yellow. And then the number of shares you bought too in yellow. I think those are the things. Let me just confirm. Yes, 1, 2, 3. So those are the things you need to. So I'm going to do this again in case you missed it. And more importantly, I'm going to do it now on the updated one. So step number 1 is if you sorry, let me lock this up. Good. There's the foreign stocks, there's the Nigerian stocks, right? All you need to do, number 1, is go to File, make a copy. Okay, you can name it yours. You can personalize it and say, this is for large. Once you do that, it's going to now create a private copy for you, which means nobody can access this, right? And then step 1 is just delete the things in yellow. Delete the things in yellow. That's it. I go here too. I do likewise. The things in yellow, I delete. The ones in yellow, I delete. Okay. This too is not an error. Well, don't worry. It's just maybe I'll also fix it but I need to move on. So let's do the Nigerian one. I bought into Dangote Cement. You need to type the company name, the date you bought into this, the price you bought at, and then the number of shares you bought. And this automatically shows you your performance, how much your portfolio is worth, how much you've gained, what's your return, and you see 52-week high. So Dangote has been between the last year and now between 183 and 280. So let's pick another company. Which company would you like me to use as illustration? Let's just give me another. I can still use the MTN, but give me another one too, so that we said we bought this in October. We bought it at 114. We bought 10,000 shares, and instantly shows you your portfolio allocation. You have more in MTN than you have in Dangote. shows you your total portfolio return. So this is something that in one place you can have all, and because this is Excel, well, Google Sheets, it's very easy. You don't have to log into anything. That's why I kind of like this. You don't have to log in into your app. You don't have to worry that what if I have some shares in another platform. You just enter it, and every day it's changing by itself. And if you are good with formulas and Excel, Google Sheets is like Excel. So you could add more. You could decide that there's something I've not done you want to see in yours. You want to do graph, you want to do other things, makes life easy. So that's number 1 tool. I hope that's clear. So I'm moving on to number 2 tool. So number 2 tool is this one. Let me again use the link. So I've been behind in updating some things here since the whole CBN and what's the name? Dollar wahala and all. So you see that my dollar exchange rate is not showing. I don't want them to come and ban, to come and block my small account. So that part has gone. Is like I need to find something to do. Maybe I'll put back the CBN rates. Just that they too don't publish CBN rates again. So for now, you might ignore this portion here where a lot of things are showing blank because we don't know what government is before they come and start coming after me, and then I don't have connections. So but every other thing is working fine, right? This is the stocks part. So this is for those of us who you're looking for something already analyzed in one view. You know, you are not it's not like you want to be digging in and start clicking yours, right? So you can always see a lot of the things that I think is important for anyone in Nigeria, to see, which is the companies, what's the current price, what's the price change in the last, this is Saturday, but obviously the last time the market traded was Friday. So that's why this will still be reflecting Friday values, okay? And then is this company, which ones are buy signal, sell signal? And if you want to see all the buy signals together, you can just click this, and see, you see all the buys. So I don't think you should buy University Press. I don't know why it's going on, but if you want to know how to know which stock to pick, which one not to pick, you might need to watch some of the recordings I've done before. But then if I'm looking at these, I might want to buy Guinness. I know they are making changes, so they are kind of rebounding. I don't know about EcoBank. I don't know the story yet, but I might want to buy Okomo Oil. I want to buy Stanbic. I might want to buy Airtel. So, and if you go down, you see the ones saying sell. So the ones saying sell, if you have intention of buying them, you might want to hold off and not buy them and try to see what's going on first. And okay, what other thing? Price to earning ratio. So let me see. Wow. So University Press is selling at 3.92, which means it means that the price is in anyway. The easy way to look at it is in 4 years you get back all your money. So that's really, really very low selling price. And score to, if you're someone who is looking at, wow, I think I'm going to buy EcoBank. 1.69, trading at 1.69 price to earning, which means the profits they are going to give you, the profit they are making, in 2 years, the money you are paying to buy the shares, you get it back. So those are the kind of information many of us are looking at. Just be careful. You don't buy companies. You want to look at the figure, the last annual report and check, was it like something exceptional happened? If it's not, if this earning is not a consistent one, then you are not maybe interested. But then anytime you see a company that the P is low, that can be a good buy. See Caverton too. I think I'm going to go and look at these companies whose P's are very low. Let's look at them together. Then some are high. Is it MTN that is showing that crazy high figure that I saw? But anyway, so let's say I go here. Something is wrong with the MTN one anyway. So low, and Zenith is also low. So those are companies you naturally want to take interest in. So anyway, there's the volume, there's a whole lot that I've mentioned. You don't want to buy companies where the trading volume is so small, because the day you want to sell, you will be looking for buyers, and you might not be able to sell at a profitable price because the liquidity is not there, price discovery is terrible. So that's that. Some other things, there's graphs and all that you can always take advantage of, or you can pick a company. Let's take that CRBT, and we can see the price trend. I think you might want to. I'm going to maybe buy into CRBT because the oil and gas industry is booming back again, and so people are using those. All the companies are using those helicopter services as frequently again. All those foreign staff that they couldn't because of all these travel restrictions and quarantine and all. Things are bouncing back, so that's a good sign when I looked at that one and this one. So I'm going to move on because of time. I'm just wanting to let you see what you will see there. There's also the moving average. There's also, for those of us that want to see actually how the companies are doing. So which one did I see that was low? Let's look at EcoBank. Let's see if my guys have put in EcoBank here. Okay, we don't have EcoBank here. Do we have the CRBT? So let's look at the CRBT there. So CRBT revenue dipped a bit, gross profit dipped a bit. What about net income? Net income went down drastically. So I might want to buy it now because they should be rebounding. Last year was one-off. Okay, so those are some of the things this shows. I'm going to move on to the next, and then if you want to look at it in a more, so let's look at their financials, cash flow, revenue, the entire financial statement in a very what's the word to use now? Analyzed way, in an analyzed way. Okay, so this is where you again come to. So you see it shows you all those things that you naturally will see on in their income statement and statement of finance, balance sheet and cash flow. So I have all of them showing here. Okay, so I'm going to move on to what do I have here? So I have here what to buy. So EcoBank is flashing a very big buy signal. So I'm going to go check EcoBank out. All right, so that's that one. Let's go back on the slides. The slide, what other resource do I have? This one. So if you're interested in ETFs, ETF. Okay. So for me, most of my US stocks holdings are in ETFs. For me, the reason is I'm not in the USA. Even in Nigeria, I struggle to keep track of what is happening. There are some times that some things happen and it's later you are hearing and the whole price has changed. And we are lucky in Nigeria that the stocks don't move beyond 10% up and down, So unlike in USA where a stock can crash 50%, 80%. So you don't want a situation where you you make a bad decision. Yes, you could make a good decision where you double your money, but the same way as you could double your money, you could lose it all, right? So for US investments, I play more of ETF. And if you go on this resource, again, like I said, let me add it here. Click on file to make a copy. Okay, I've already added it. I thought I have not. Maybe I changed the color to be a bright red. So click on file to make a copy. And then how do you use this? Okay, let me show you where the backend is. I didn't hide the backend so that you can see I don't have anything to gain from hiding anything from you. So if you are someone who can even add a few formulas, you can build on top of this, right? Right here, you see that there are different equity classes, asset classes. There is commodity, there is equity, there's currency, fixed income. So those are how the ETFs are classified. There are equity ETFs, there are commodity ETFs, there are real estate ETFs, which come under alternative here. And there are some ETFs that are mixed assets, a mix of many things. Okay, so if you're interested in any ETF, you can instantly here see what asset under management. That's one key thing that is important in ETFs. What is the total asset under management? Then expense ratio. There's a third one too. Yeah, the particular ETF, what it's holding anyway. But the expense ratio, asset under management are things you want to quickly see. And also too, just that in the US, most stocks, most ETFs have a good daily trading volume, but you also want to check that you're not buying into an ETF that the trading volume is very low, so that it doesn't become problematic for you to sell or even buy. So now let me use myself as an example. I have the let me see if I can show you my ETF holdings. Okay, let me not show us. I don't know who will watch the videos, so I'm being careful. You know what? The video that I did about how to save money, that session that I did on how to save up to $500 a month and using TransferWise. You can't believe it. After that session, I tried to use TransferWise. They no longer accept now. They blocked. It's like CBN is proactive these days. So now I'm very careful what I talk about, because I think I'm small, but then it seems some people who are working with CBN also come across our material. So I have to be very, very careful when working with regulators. So I have to be careful what I say and what I do nowadays. It could be very painful if you are small and then you are getting punished as the big guys. So I'm going to just, I know the holdings I have. I have AIAU. Please, could you share the link for the current press spreadsheet? Yes, I have. I've shared it. Is the last link you are looking at. So I have, let me type IAU. Some weird reasons. Doesn't want to come up. Okay, not a problem. I have gold. Gold is GLD. But not this gold. The gold I have is GLD. Okay, I'm going to use another one that I have. That means I have to update this anyway. So it seems that somehow I omitted some holdings here. I have IAU now. This is the one I'm looking for actually. This one.
Can you confirm the asset class?
It's under equity. Let me see. Okay, not a problem. Because there's no way I will omit the things I hold. But anyway, I'm going to use another one. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, thank you. It's under commodity. Yes, under commodity. See, even me, I'm getting confused. I'm using the thing wrongly. I'm not following my own instructions. Select asset class first. Okay, great. So thank you for pointing that out. So the moment I selected the right asset class, which is commodity, gold is a commodity, you see it came up, right? And so I'm able to see over the last, I think I made it like 3 years. So you can see a price chart over the last 3 years. Gold has been trading sideways anyway. And but me, I strongly believe that with the way governments are printing money, last year there was a whole lot of monetary policies that were kind of pumping money into the system. I know it's going to, compared to gold, yes, there were other things that got more of that's why Bitcoin went up. That's why a lot of stocks are going up. But I know gold is also going to go up. Just that, like they said, you can be right and still be off in your timing. So I have gold. What other things? I also have oil. So I think I bought into DBO. That one I got on over 100% return. So I bought it last year when oil crashed. And then I bought a lot of oil shares and this DBO specifically. And I just pray it comes up. So you see the graph. You see how, it cratered and then it has more than doubled, right? It was at $5 one time. Now it's even like almost $15. So imagine, that's like your money doing times 3, but I didn't get in at $5. So my money didn't do times 3, but my money did more than times 2, right? What other ones do I? But the key thing is, how do you use this? Let's forget about me. You go again to file, make a copy, do okay. So this one you don't need to delete because it's not unlike that other one that you need to really personalize. This one you don't need to delete. All you need to do is, if you have some ETFs that you have in mind, so that brings me to, how will you even know which ETFs to go for, right? For me, Morningstar, I'm going to talk about them later anyway, so that I don't keep jumping around. So I'll get to where you can begin to narrow down on how to pick the right ETFs. But whenever I have narrowed down to, I've written the names, the ticker of the ETFs I'm interested in, I always come, well, until I built this anyway, but this is what I do somewhere else. So I try to look at the price trend. So I see with my eyes how it has been doing. I try to look at the information about it. I try to look at what's the asset under management. So that's why I created something like this that pulls together those information. The other thing I try to look at that is not here, because the formula I'm using, if I show you the formula at the back end, is Google Finance. So there's a formula here that is Google Finance. Unfortunately, Google Finance cannot, it can't do too much of some of the other things I wanted. So another thing I like to do is I like to compare the return with the S&P. So maybe that makes sense. I can do the S&P 500 chart separately and plot whatever is here against it. Okay, that's another idea. I can even do it right now. Just copy this and paste. And I'm going to say you should do the SPY. SPY. Okay. Then I'm going to tell the charts. Just that now, will it not be confusing somebody using this? You know what? I'll think of a better way to do it so that I don't now make it too complex. Essentially, what I want to show is let you be able to see how whatever you have picked is doing against the overall, well, that popular benchmark, S&P 500. But I'll think of a better way for that. So that's what I do all the time. I look at the stock ETF I'm interested in, what's been the price movement, and then I look at how it's been doing relative to SPY. Then I consider what it is investing in. So I want to have exposure to oil because I think oil is going to go up. Right now, oil is gone up. If you've missed it, I don't think you can gain so much from buying oil right now. So the one I bought very recently is airlines. So US is opening back to travel. Most of the airlines ETF are US airlines, and so right now is when their prices are going up, and I've been getting some of those price going up. Okay, so how do you trade in gold? For gold, so let's even go look at all the things. So if I come in here and I choose commodities, so let's see what are the commodities there are. Commodity, okay. So you can see gold, silver, sugar, I think they're about how many? 100 commodity ETFs here. Just that anything I do, I need to collect, but let's go on. So for me, how do I buy into gold? The thing is, Vanguard has the smallest expense ratio. So whenever I'm buying into an ETF, I always give preference to Vanguard run ETFs. So let's look for the ones that are run by Vanguard. So if you come here, look for anyone that the name is Vanguard. I can come here and type Vanguard. Vanguard. That's funny. Not too much of a problem. I know it's by IAU, but let's type it together. Vanguard Gold ETF. So I do that. You can see it, right? Oh, they do not have. Okay. That's true. The IAU is not even Vanguard. But again, like I'm telling you, that's what I do first. I determine the one I want to, like you determine that you want to buy into gold. Then I give priority to Vanguard run ETF. So when I see a Vanguard run one, I go for that one because the expense ratio is always small. Unfortunately, there's no Vanguard run gold ETF. I'm not seeing any of it here. So I went with two. I went with IAU and GDL. But I found out that GLD is higher in expense ratio. Expense ratio is how much they are charging you. So I moved from GLD. I switched everything to IAU. Let's look for the IAU now. So I switched everything to this one. So this one is cheaper in the amount of charges that I'm incurring. But GLD seems to have the highest asset under management. Okay, $57 billion. You can always click on that. Reminds me, you can always click on this to get more information. So when you click on this, it's going to bring up more information that you can now go through. You can see all the other things you would like to see that you cannot see because of the limitations of the formulas that I'm using. So this shows you a lot more. You can, take your time on this. So that's how I expect you to use this one. I'm going to remove the filters so that I don't confuse people when they are using this. So I hope this is clear. I'm going to move back to my slide. And that's what this one does. Okay. Then there's FinVis. So this is, the truth is, even if you are not an analytics person, you are not someone who is good with numbers, I tell you, between reading and looking at charts, you will enjoy charts. You prefer charts. So that's why this tool is very popular, FinVis. So I'm again going to paste it in the chat box. So FinVis. And then Madam Funke, about the question of how do you trade in gold? I think I mentioned just one part. How do I know which one to buy? But then you ultimately also need to have a brokerage account with a broker that allows you to trade in US stocks. At least US stocks is better for those of us here in Nigeria. The fees are small and also it's a lot more liquid. Most of the activities are happening on the US stock market. So if you're in Nigeria, I don't see why you would want to go into South Africa or UK or Europe. And even those guys in South Africa and Europe and Australia, they are doing a lot of transactions on the US, sometimes even more than on their own. So just focus on the US one and you won't have any reason to have a second thought. So FinVis allows you to see things in a very visual way, right? So it has this popular screener where you can say, I'm interested in companies that meet some specific criteria. So you can say you're interested in companies that are larger than, so if you look at my screen, I can say I'm interested in companies that are very large. So I want to play safe. I'm interested in let's say mega large. Okay. And then companies that have dividend yield that is over 4%. Okay. Wow. Oh, it's looking like only healthcare and oil and gas. So I've been hearing that people who bought into Chevron have been smiling to the bank this year because Chevron declared a very large dividend. Let's see what the dividend yield is. How can I add more information? But anyway, I'm not surprised that Chevron is there because I've been hearing it in the news. And you ask me, how did I hear it in the news? Okay, I'll tell you where I get most of my news from. So, but the key thing on this is it allows you to set things. You can set what you're interested in. You can say you're interested in, I only don't know if, the thing is, I don't know if it can let you pick more than one. It would be nice if you can pick more than one, if you can pick like mega and large together. But the key thing is, of all the tools that allow you to do this, this is the most popular and maybe the most robust. So you can set things. You can say you're interested in a particular industry. You're interested in ones that have exposure to just some countries. You're interested in what analysts are saying. You're interested in what the flow, the short is like. You're interested in what the average daily trading volume. You want stocks that trade very heavily. So people who are into frequent trading, who follow stocks a lot, who are active traders, they use this tool a lot. That's where I got to learn about this tool from them. Day traders, swing traders. Unfortunately, it can be very demanding if you want to be doing that. But nonetheless, this is a tool that can also be used for someone like me and you who maybe want to trade once in a while. Okay, so I've shared the link. Feel free to use that link. I'll move on to the next in my tool set. So there's this also bar chart. Bar chart is very much like the FinVis, but just some subtle differences, right? So bar charts. Putting it in the chat box. So bar chart, it also tries to cover some news. You see, this guy, no news. I don't think they care about news. They don't care about, they don't seem to care so much about fundamentals. They care, but they are focused more on the figures, the analysis, the numbers, and all of that. So this guy tried to do a mix of the two. They try to show you a bit of the fundamentals and also still provide you those kind of things that you see FinViz have. So if I come in here and I say stocks, then I can say I want to screen. I want to go to a stock screener. I get just login. You don't need to log in. I'm just logging in because I already have an account. So stock screener, you see, you can say you want to screen based on their own filters are not as many as that ones, but let me just say show result. So you see, if you click on any of the companies that meet your requirements, you see a lot more information than that guy can show you. So that's where the difference is. This one shows you what analysts are saying, shows you, see, strong buy, shows you, but they try to do as much of those graphs that one has, but what I can say is the main difference is you will see a bit more on the fundamentals here than you will see in that one. So if you want a mix of the fundamentals and the figures, the graphing, then this can be a good balance. You're able to see price to earning, you're able to see market capital. That one shows you that anyway. But more importantly, you see, is it a strong buy? Is it a strong sell? I want to see more about what people are saying, and then what it's like, the analysis, and some other graphs and trends. So bar charts can be very nice for that. And so where do I get my news? I get most of my news from Seeking Alpha. Unfortunately, they've put a lot of the amazing things that I used to gain from there. They've put it under a paywall, like they want you to be a subscriber, paying subscriber. So it has reduced some of the value, but still the free things I get is still worth it. But before I used to get a lot more free news. So what I have is, let me show you what my own looks like. So I've put in the companies that I'm interested in, the ones I've bought shares in, and then the ones I'm also interested in. So every day it is collating news. So it's showing me performance of the companies that I have shares in or I'm interested in. So I'm seeing how they are performing every day. So I just log in, instead of me logging into my trading app, I just log in here. Why? I see immediately what the companies I bought into are doing. Then I see the news about them. So the news that are relating to all those companies, I'm seeing them. So this is where I got to know about the Chevron and dividend stuff. It was here I saw it first, right? Because here these guys have, I think, the largest collection of analysts writing about every company that trades on the US stock exchange. So here you get very good, you just log in here and instantly you see all the important things about the company. Do I use a DOM account to trade in US or you deposit in Naira? So the platform the platform I use, let's just say, is a DOM account that I use to fund the platform. Okay. The thing is, because I also earn some, as some of the clients I work for, they pay me in dollars, they pay me on a platform that my account is not even, my money is not reaching Nigeria. I have a card access. So sometimes, I just, instead of moving the money to Nigeria, I just move the money into the US stock investment. So that's another thing I do a lot. So it's not all, I can't even remember the last time I used my DOM account to pay, but I know that I've had to use my DOM account before. So if, in case you don't have money that is not outside of your DOM account, then it's your DOM account you will use. Also, I think Naira cards to some extent can pay. I don't know if CBN is going to be policing that one too, but I know you can pay for some up to, like GTB, up to $200 per month. from your dollar card. All right, so what was it I wanted to say about this? They have all these things that allow you to track the companies you're interested in, also get stock ideas. If you're interested in dividends, which stocks are dividend paying, if you're interested in ETFs. So they have a lot of useful, all in one place, analysis tools, analysts, what analysts are saying, and then also keeping track of the companies that you have shares in. And that's why I use it a lot. And this one, for those who are more into technical analysis, you're going to find this one like it's the gold standard. TradingView, no one comes near. In fact, it has gotten so good that other people have given up trying to do their own. And you know what they do? They just partner with TradingView to render TradingView within their own platform. So that's how very good these guys are. They are so good that everybody's using them underneath their own develop. They are not even trying to replicate them because they've gone too far that I don't know how they will catch up with them. So let me show you what I mean by others are using it. If I go to, I want you to see, this is from TradingView, but I want you to see how you will know. This is from TradingView anyway. Fortunately, I'm not able to pull out the name. Let's see. Okay. But you see this chart you're looking at is from TradingView. It's from this same guy. It's the exact same thing, all of this. And this one has more features because this is their own platform. So that's how everybody's using it. Everybody is, when I say everybody, all that platforms are just trying to have TradingView embedded in theirs rather than trying to create what can rival TradingView. Okay. So that means that if you're interested in technical analysis, this is going to be a very useful tool for you. It allows you to set up indicators, set up alerts. So it has a lot of indicators you can set, and then you can set up alerts that if something reaches somewhere, you want to be notified. So alert. I can say whenever some signals some things have happened, I want to be alert. I want to get an alert when something reaches maybe some signals have crossed. May I use more of simple moving average? Some people use Bollinger bars. So people have different alerts that they try to mix up together, and then they come here and pick the alert and say whenever that thing happens, they want to be notified. Some other people can even hook it up to something that is going to place the trade for you. Okay, so it's that very, very powerful. So we are gradually coming to the end. Any questions from anyone in the house, regarding what we've touched on? Any questions? In the meantime, we would like to have your feedback. If you would like us to bring somebody or talk about a particular topic, please share in this feedback form. And have you gotten the slide? Let me see if I can give you the slide before I close the session. So Azure storage. So let me give us the slide. If you ask me which are the tools I use a lot more of, yeah, you can say they're the tools I built myself, but the reason I built them is because I couldn't find them, and then I had to build them. I use this one. Right? I've shared it before now. I use this one, but I use it more in the Excel sometimes. So I have an Excel version of it. This is new, so I've not been using it so much. Whereas the other one I use a lot is Seeking Alpha. The one I use the most. Okay, so that's the truth. So let me see if I can just grab for us the deck. Or any questions while I'm trying to give you the download link for the PowerPoint?
So this isn't really a question, it's just an inquiry. Is it possible for you to give us, me in particular, because I'm speaking for myself, right? Like tips on, like strategies on trading, majorly around analytics as opposed to current events.
Okay. Let me see if I can do a live. Let me see if I can log in into my own account. Bring it up. So okay. So this is my main trading account. In the meantime, while that is coming on, let me just upload the file. Upload. Okay, done. Refresh. Sorry, just want to do this and share the link once and for all. Refresh, copy URL, print. So the truth is, I'm not even the best. You know, when people talk and they show track records and, and they are telling you how they grew $1,000 to $20,000, I don't have a similar story, but I can share what has worked for me and I can tell the truth. I don't have anything to sell. So this is what the approach I use. Remember, I mentioned that I do more of, unfortunately, on my phone, this opens better than on the actual web app of this company, of this trading platform. But then I think I can still manage to show the key things, just that you won't see them as very well as the phone will have showed them. But if you look at all of what I have here, they are all ETFs. This is the gold ETF. This is okay. They are not all ETF actually. So this one is Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company. Okay, but if you ask me, it runs like an ETF because what the man does is that holding itself is a holding of other companies. Okay, so this is energy ETF. Energy in terms of let me see if I can show you what's inside this one. If it looks like I'm even confused on this because I don't use the web one more, I use more on the phone. But great, it's open. I was also opening to show you what kind of companies are inside this. But anyway, energy in terms of oil and gas and mostly oil and gas kind of energy. Gold is just gold. There's no type of gold, okay? Then Berkshire Hathaway, which is all the things that Warren Buffett invests in. So this is into a lot of things. That's why you can even say it's a bit more like even an ETF itself. This is okay, I've shown this one. This is oil. So this is the one I showed you that I said it has gone up 3 times, from last year to now. But it's purely oil, like crude oil. So it's not like they are into all kinds. This is Nike. This was a gift. When I say gift, this platform, so they were doing a promo one time and they gave me order $5 worth or something. And then the thing was going up. I just decided to add $100 on top. So it's just that $105 that has become 216. So the Nike has been a very wonderful return on investment. Okay. Then this is Treasury Bonds, again, ETF. Not even, you can see this is, you could even say Treasury notes because it's 1 to 3 years. Okay, but let's leave it at that, ETF. This is metals. Okay, so mining companies and metals. Let's see if they will write what kind of. So this is into metal and mining. Unfortunately, okay, great. Yeah, such as steel, coal. No, invest in industries. Industries that are into steel. I didn't even know they do coal and consumables, but I know steel. I know gold, precious metals, minerals. Just now I'm seeing this part, which is funny, you know. Okay, mining. People mine coal too. Okay, makes sense. But this is mining. I'm going to tell you how I picked them, but just to show you what I have first, and then I'll tell you the whole story that led up to it becoming what it is right now. This is also another ETF. So this is dividend focused.
Sorry for interrupting you. Just so it doesn't seem like we're taking everybody's time, is it possible? Is it okay if I just, reach out to you after your presentation?
I don't know, right? Because immediately after my presentation, I have another one. So the whole of today is
We
gone.
are benefiting from it too.
Okay.
So they said they have benefit. Okay, let's see how much you can do in this section. So this one is focused on high yield. If I go into the part of it, it's like the S&P for S&P 500, but the ones that are in high yield companies that give good dividend. Okay. Then this is the one I mentioned that the airlines are rebounding. So if you look at this, you will see that if I even do 2 years trend, you see it went down drastically last year when due to restrictions, airlines shutting down and all of that. I bought in around that period. So you see it has gone up because it's gone so down that it can only go up. Again, it's coming back down, but I need to go back up again because the moment those airlines start the international flights and flights start going into US, this will go back up more than this. Okay. Let's see. Then S&P 500 itself, I've had this for like 6 years or so now. This 2021. Let's say 5 years or 6 years since I've had my account. So okay, no. I've not had this particular one. This one is recent. So, but I'll tell you, this is S&P 500, the value part of it. Value means companies that there's a way they classify the value, but it's a mix of, so there's growth. Growth are the ones that are more of the tech. Then value are the ones that they're already matured companies. They are not high growth companies. They pay dividend. There's a bit of, they're just in the middle. Then there's transport. So I bought this transport too last year, at the height of the pandemic. So it's crashed too. Transport is all those boats, trains, and buses, companies that are long haul and that are into transportation. Some airlines too are there, but it's not just the airlines. It's a mix of all the different types of trucking, airlines, railroad, air freight, transportation. So I bought it when they were all due to lockdown, they were down. But you see, they've gone up even more than what they were last year, right? So how do I make my own buying decision? For me, my buying decision is what is based on trends. I follow what they call macro thematic approach. Macro thematic, let me type it. Let me just type it here. Macro thematic. Thank God I'm not investing using. I'm not the one who is inventing the word. It exists. I worked with a mutual fund. With a fund before, a hedge fund, and that's what they follow. That's where I said that if a hedge fund is doing this, and it's easy to do, that's the cool thing about macro thematic. So the hedge fund was doing that, and I'm like, wow, if a hedge fund is doing this, and hedge funds, they promise you superior returns, right? And they charge a high fees. So if a hedge fund is doing this and it's working, or like it can work for a hedge fund, then I don't need to look down on it. The reason most people look down on it is they think it doesn't work. Like the returns will not be huge because you are always investing in a basket of securities. So you think, okay, Nigeria, our population is booming. People are becoming to move more into middle class. You want to gain exposure into that growth. So you start looking at what industries will benefit. So you'll be like, okay, people are going to be FMCGs, they're going to benefit because consumables, people will be using body creams, people will be drinking Lipton, people will be eating gala, people will be eating all those things that almost everybody who is earning some good amount of money is buying, on a recurrent basis, they are going to enjoy it. So what do? I buy into companies that are in that space. I know that with the whole way Nigeria is growing, yes, Nigeria is not growing in real terms, but it's growing in nominal value. Nominal value means there's a lot more money in the system year over year. The banks are milking it. The banks, they will keep that money, keeps passing through the banks, right? They keep charging high interest rate and all of that. So what do? I look at in the industry, which are the top maybe 5 or 6 banks, and I buy into them. I don't care too much about, what's wrong inside. The due diligence are not so much on the individual companies, much more on the industry, on the sector that I want to gain exposure to. So that's what macro thematic means. You look at the macro layout, you look at where are some things going to, the trend is positive, right? And you just get exposure, positive exposure. So the hedge fund was also doing the reverse too. They were also shorting, so benefiting from negative. So like maybe they feel that a particular country's currency is going to go less compared to another country, right? They will short it. So that's their hedge fund anyway. They're buying puts and calls and all kind of exotic things. But for me, as an individual, I can only do long. I'm always afraid of shorts because, yeah, it's even the guys that are extremely good. It's difficult. It's super difficult. Sometimes luck when you hit it big. So, and most of the platforms you use, they will not even let you short. So I never needed to worry about shorting. So for the long, which is when the things go up, your own holdings to go up. What I do is I look at industries, I look at sectors, I look at asset classes, and practical examples. My current portfolio, I have a mix of Nigerian shares, and then how do I sell the US stocks? Yeah, on this same platform, you can sell. You can say I want to sell this one, and all I do is I go here and I say sell, right? So I'll say I want to sell, and then I want to sell at what price? What price is it currently? So it's 33.6 something. It's 30 what, say? Anyway, I'm just going to put something. I want to sell at 40, and I want to sell how many quantities? I want to sell maybe, I want to sell 10. So once I place the order, I'm not going to place it. I'm not planning to sell, but once I click review order and sell, that will happen once the market opens. So the selling is not difficult. Back to how I make my investing decision. Let's just hypothetically, I don't know what the mix is right now, but hypothetically speaking, 30% Nigeria, 40% US, we're left with 30%, right? 30% crypto. Let's say that is it, right? So now, how do I decide? So that's the first thing. How am I sharing my money? There's real estate there too. But anyway, let's just leave it at what I said hypothetically. So maybe I have, in total, I have 100 million naira or 10 million naira. Let's use 10 million naira. Those are the money I have. So if you look at it, it means out of the 10 million naira, 3 million naira is going to be in Nigerian stock market. I've already decided that that's the portion. I'm going to put 4 million naira in US. I'm going to put 3 million naira will be left, right? 3 million naira in crypto, right? So how then do I pick the specific shares? So for Nigerian, there's no ETF, and I live in Nigeria, so I know the companies are not so much. There are maybe like 100 viable companies, because there are some that are just walking dead. So you don't want the ones that are dead and just still there. You want the ones that are actually alive. So the ones that are actually alive, if you ask me, they are even less than 100. So it's not difficult to pick. In Nigeria, banks, because all the money passed through banks. It's unfortunate that the banks seem to be the most vibrant aspect of our whole stock exchange, but that's the reality, banks. So you decide, okay, you want to put, I don't know, maybe half of it in banks. Then the manufacturing is very specific, like type specific. You want the ones where they are the ones milking the growth in the industry. That's the advantage of the cement industry, because somehow I think they've made rules that prevents foreign companies importing of cement. So every growth in that industry you will see it reflecting the stock companies in Nigeria, and most of them are listed on the stock exchange: BUA Cement, Dangote Cement, Lafarge, and they are buying up all the other cements under Lafarge. There are probably like 6 or 7 cement companies that they've acquired. Dangote too, so pretty much all the growth is reflected in those companies. So you can cement, yes, they own the Nigerian market. Unfortunately, the FMCG is not like that. So a lot of these Asian companies that are not listed on the stock exchange, they are the ones making most of the growth in that space. So the Indomie we are eating, the things we are buying a lot now that are like our consumables at home for washing, bar soap. Before, all the soaps people buy when you go to the shelves is either Unilever or PZ or who is also manufacturing. There are companies listed on stock. Nowadays, you see a whole lot. And then after you see the ones in Nigeria, you see the ones that are not Nigerian. So there's no protection for them, kind of like as we have in the cement industry. So for those ones, I'm very, very specific about. So I'm buying into cement. In the beverage one, I say beer because that's what most people think of them as. Nigerian breweries, Guinness. I don't know too much of the theory, but when I've gone to other countries in West Africa, I see that there seems to be a protection for our own. We don't have too much I don't see imported beers that much. I don't see imported drinks. So almost all the drinks we are buying in Nigeria are the ones made. It's just unfortunate that Coca-Cola and 7-Up are not on the stock exchange. So it's more of Nigerian breweries and Guinness that you kind of can buy into directly on the stock exchange. So yes, unfortunately too, they are not the only players, but some of the other players seem to be wanting to play in the spirits, because I think there's no leader in the beer. Everybody knows Star, Guinness, and all of that. But then when it comes to spirits, before there used to be a lot more bitters, right? And then a whole lot of border and all of that. I think that's why maybe Ghana is not happy with Nigeria too. But the key thing I want to bring out is, again, I'm looking at the companies that own the market, so that when there's a growth, it's not like the growth is growing, the Nigerian market is growing, but those companies are not. That's what is happening to PZ and to some extent Unilever. We are buying more of the things that they produce, but we are not buying it from them. We are buying it from other people that are not on the stock exchange. So I'm careful that when I'm picking manufacturer, I'm picking those ones that command a larger market share, can reflect it. So Nestle is a very good example. Nestle, somehow the things they produce, they seem to have a higher command of the market share. So you get your pattern. That's what I do for Nigeria. Then for the US one, I use the ETFs. So when I use the ETFs, I look at what you can see. I look at when oil was down, I bought into it. So something is always going down, and other things going way up. So last year, a lot of things went down. So it was easy to make a call, right? Right now, if I have money to buy things, it's difficult because almost everything has gone up. So you don't know one that you are sure that has gone down that will definitely go up. Because for me, it's easy for me to say something has gone down and I'm patient to wait for it to go up. But the one where it is up and I'm thinking to go up more, my mind will not be at rest, because what if it now goes down further, right? So for the US one, I look at what will go up. So right now, I think gold will go up. Right now, I think people say oil will go up more than what it has right now. I don't know, but I've already put in money already, so I'm not concerned. If it goes up, I'm happy, but I'm not looking to put more money into it. But if I'm putting more money, I'm probably going to put into gold. And then also to utilities. Utilities like energy companies and all of that, for a long time, they've kept price stable. But with inflation rising in the US, they are going to have to increase their prices. So it's normal. Everybody expects that the price will go up. People are beginning to expect it. So they're going to do it, right? So I'm probably going to want to put money there if I have some money that I want to put. Then if it's not that I don't play individual stocks. If you play individual stocks, there are some technology firms that are going to, like for me, I think Microsoft, but again, I don't play, I don't want to start something I cannot sustain. So I just say this is what I'm going to do, and I stick to it, and I live with the reality. So for me, those are the things. Then I'm buying into companies that are paying dividend, because when market crashes, companies that pay dividend don't fall that much. And companies that pay dividend typically are companies that their earnings are stable. So that's what I do. What other thing? I just use the news that I mentioned. I follow the news on Seeking Alpha. Let me show you the Seeking Alpha again. So once I'm on Seeking Alpha, I get the news about all the companies that I've already identified as companies I'm interested in. So that way I get some interesting analysis from different people, like people that run hedge funds, people that run investment funds. They are all here. So they write, because that's how they try to do marketing too. So when you follow their news and you like their thinking process and you like their investment thesis, maybe you will go and meet them and put money with them. So they are much more incentivized to write very, very deep content and very, very valuable content. So I get a lot of value from here. So that's summary for me. I don't do too much of chasing. As much as I talked about this trading view, I don't use it because I'm not looking at the price trend per much. I'm looking more about the big picture trends. And once I'm convinced that this is the big trend, I go into the market, like an asset exposure, like an industry exposure to it, rather than picking one particular company. So that's it for me. Thank you to everyone. And I'll be wrapping up this session right now. But I'm very, very grateful to everyone who has joined. I see that a lot of people joined. And then let me just share the link again of the slides so that you can always be able to access the links that of the templates and resources that I mentioned. So thank you to everyone, and have a very wonderful rest of the Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye.